Hey, and good morning. Welcome back to Morning Meditation with me, Coach Hamley, brought to you by Slugger Sports Academy. So, yesterday we left off with a beginner's intro to meditation, just getting used to this idea of meditation and what that looks like. As I mentioned yesterday, my journey with meditation really began as not necessarily a necessity, but just a way for my guys to really take their game to the next level. We can do all kinds of drill and skill work. We can lift weights. We can do conditioning and cardio. However, how many times do we actually really look at our mind and focus on how we can become better mentally? And we've always heard the cliche, it doesn't really matter what happens outside of us. It's the 6 inches in between our ears that matters most. But how often do we truly practice getting our mind right? So sticking with our theme for this week, we're really just going to get used to this idea of meditation. And this is something that I'm still learning and practicing myself. I don't claim to be any kind of guru with this. And as I do this, I become better at it myself. And I thank you for being here with me and continuing this journey. So with that, let's begin today's morning meditation. So find yourself in a comfortable position. Lying down is fine. However, seated is maybe a little bit better, keeps you a little more aware. If I can get you to get to the point of relaxation where you fall asleep here for the next 10 to 12 minutes, then I guess that's great in some regard. However, we're really just trying to work on being present, being focused on this moment. So find yourself in a comfortable position. I want you to just acknowledge anything that's happened to this point. Maybe this is early in the day and, something's already happened. That is completely fine. I just want you to remain neutral with that thought. Not thinking about anything that's going to happen today. I just want you to think about this moment. And for the next 10 minutes, this is your time, your opportunity to get a little mental clarity, mental health, energy, and focus for the day. So being present in this moment. Anything that comes to mind, just acknowledge it and remain neutral. And I want you to start to notice the body, beginning at the feet. We're going to work our way all the way to the top of our head. And with our feet, I want you to notice the surface that your feet are touching. Maybe you feel the balls of your feet, your toes, the bottom of your heel, the back of your heel. Just noticing what's touching the surface. You begin to feel a little bit of release as you sense what is supporting you. Beginning to feel heavier and heavier as you move from your feet to your ankles, calves, shins, knees. Just thinking very small, being very intentional with your thinking right now. If you feel any tension or strain or aches, try just clenching that part of the body, or even just focusing on that part of the body and holding that for just a couple seconds and releasing the breath, releasing any strain, any achiness, any tension. Continuing to move up our legs into our thighs, our hamstrings, our quads, up into the glutes, and really just noticing the chair or whatever surface is holding you. If you're laying down, you might feel a multitude of pressure points that are being supported. I want you to just really let that surface or that support hold you and do its job. getting to the point where you feel like you don't even have to think about relaxing. The surface is doing its job and holding you in place, like a puppet being held by strings. Moving our way up from our glutes into our lower back. I know for me this has been a source of strain and pain, and really just putting our focus on our any spots that are sore or achy. Maybe you're trying a new at-home workout and you're really feeling sore, a good soreness, and just really focus on that spot, and on your next breath release that tension. Moving up through our spine into our shoulders, the base of our neck, out to our shoulders and arms, all the way out to our fingertips, and just noticing how the body feels, how it moves. Maybe wiggle your fingers, make small circles with your wrists, and bring that feeling all the way up through your jaw, noticing your tongue, the breathing going in and out of your nose, your eyes and your eyelids, how your eyelids are just gently being held shut. You're not clenching them, you're not forcing them. They're just doing what they do. All the way up to the top of our head. Again, any thoughts that come to the forefront of your mind, just remain neutral with those. Understand that it's completely normal, and we're going to just focus on this present moment. There's nothing that we can do about the past, and there's nothing we can do about the future. We'll get to the future stuff later today. But right now, it's just all about you and focusing on your body. I'm going to let you just enjoy this feeling of enjoyment for the next 20 to 30 seconds. So I'm going to go silent. I want you to just enjoy this sense of relaxation, feeling the body become heavier and heavier. Now as you're feeling yourself calming down, some peace and quiet, I want you to gently bring your awareness to your breath. Don't do anything different with your breath. Just notice the inhale and exhale, and notice the organic pace. Just watch it flow at its own pace and rhythm. At some point, you'll notice the four parts of your breath and how there's a little gap between the inhale, the exhale, and then a gap between the exhale and the inhale. Noticing the continuous cycle of the breath. Whatever pace you have is perfect. If anything comes to your attention, maybe something in the background, a dog barking, someone talking, bring your focus right back to the breath. Let the thoughts do what they want to do, and just remain neutral with them. Remember, there's nothing that you can do about them right now. This is just all about you. Always coming back to the breath. Thoughts are drifting further and further away, like a balloon drifting in the wind, raising higher and higher and higher until it's completely out of sight. I want you to stay in this cycle for the next minute, just enjoying this sense and feeling of complete relaxation. If you want, you can try a addition to this exercise and count your breath instead of watching your breathing. Inhaling is 1, exhaling 2, back to the inhale 3, exhaling is 4. And feel free to just count your breath as high as you can. Just remaining neutral with any thoughts that come into your mind. Watching the breath, counting the breath, and repeat as needed. Getting to the point where your breath is breathing you and you're not actually thinking about the breath. Almost like you're so enchanted by a great book, TV show, just feeling that time has ceased to exist. Thoughts are moving further and further to the background and just continuing to dissolve on their own. And just continuing to enjoy what you're doing. The pure relaxation, like a raft drifting ever so calmly on the surface of the water, a kite being gently blown in the breeze. At this point, we're going to slowly transition ourselves out of this meditation, bringing our attention back to the breath. Sometimes it helps to put our hands on our stomach so we can feel the diaphragm doing its job, moving our lungs up and down. Slightly over-exaggerate the breath and hold it for a moment. Releasing the exhale as slowly, smoothly, and fluidly as possible. I want you to do 5 or 6 of these breaths. Feeling the body calm itself. Bringing the attention back to the breath. Whenever the exhale completely exhausts, let the inhale come back as a reflex, naturally, beginning the process again. Taking 2 or 3 more of these breaths, coming out at your own pace, remembering as you start to transition out with your eyes open, the meditation is still happening. Inhaling as a reflex, filling the lungs with air, feeling completely energized, rejuvenated, alert, focused, ready for the day. One more deep breath. And welcome back. I truly hope you found benefit in this, and as I mentioned at the beginning, you don't have to be perfect at this. You can't control what's going to happen around you, just as in life. There are so many circumstances and situations we're all going to find ourselves in. We don't live in a vacuum. We live in an imperfect world where when these circumstances happen, we dictate how we react. When you're driving and someone cuts you off or, you know, doesn't pull out into the intersection on a blinking red light, we choose how we handle that situation. And bringing our attention and our focus back to the breath is a great way to calm the body. By controlling our breath, we control our mind, we control our thoughts, and we control the emotions. And if we can control our thoughts and emotions, we can control our physical output. So once again, this is Coach Hamley with Slugger Sports Academy. I hope you found a lot of benefit in today's meditation, and I look forward to being with you tomorrow. Remember, keep slugging.